Good morning, friend. Welcome to my kitchen. With Easter a couple days away, I decided today I'm going to put together some Easter treats for the kids while they're playing outside. And I figured I'd take you guys along and share with you the steps on making these treats. These are technically, if you get the stuff ready to go from the store, these are no-bake treats, and you have the option to make them homemade if you'd like to, or just buy them at the store. But these are really quick treats that you can put together. It'll look like you spent much more time making these than you're actually going to, and they're delicious, they're easy, and they're just cute for the Easter season. So I'm going to leave the ingredients down in the description box below for your convenience. Follow along in the video for the steps, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, for the first recipe, we are going to do some cute decorated brownies. Now, when I was at the store, I totally forgot to get some that were already ready to go. So I just made this up with my dry mix. If you're interested in dry mixes, it saves time. It took me a total of 5 minutes to put my brownies together. I'll link a video down in the description box below sharing the actual brownie dry mix recipe that I used. But anyway, it took no time at all other than baking time in the oven. So you will need some type of brownies, some chocolate frosting, some crushed Oreo crumbs, and some orange and green M&Ms. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll share how to get these decorated. Okay, so I like to bake my brownies when I do something like this on parchment paper so it's easy to lift up. And then I have my icing right here, and what I'm going to do is take my angled spatula that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and get this iced. Once we have the icing on a nice layer, we are going to be making our M&M carrots. What you're going to want to do for this is just put an orange M&M on its side, and you're going to kind of set up the M&Ms that are green on their side as well to kind of mimic the leaves on the top of a carrot. So I am going to go ahead and get all of these scattered throughout the icing. You have the amount of carrot M&Ms that you are happy with. You're going to then take your Oreo crumbs and you are just going to sprinkle them through. Now, another suggestion, if you want to pre-cut your brownies first before even applying the carrots, so every single piece has a carrot, you are more than welcome to do that as well. This is just for me and my kids, so I'm not putting a whole lot of thought into that because everybody will be happy with this whether they have a carrot on it or not. So I'm just sprinkling on these Oreo crumbs. And there we go. I am pretty happy with that. All right, our little carrot patch looks really cute, and these are going to be so delicious, and they're fun, and the kids are going to love them. For the next recipe, we are going to be making some carrot patch cups. Now, I'm going to say I had better strawberries. I think somebody got into them in the fridge. I bought them 2 days ago, and these are now only the best ones I can find in the pack. So I have that. I have some chocolate pudding. I have, once again, our Oreo crumbs, and I am going to be using these orange melts for another recipe coming up here. So I just dumped the whole bag of orange melts in there and heated it up. And then I found these at Walmart. I feel these are the perfect size, and these are just 8.79 ounce cups. So those will be cute to serve them in, and I'm going to share with you how to get these made up. After washing your strawberries thoroughly, you're going to want to pat them dry. That'll help the candy melt adhere to the strawberry a whole lot better. Okay, and once those are off to the side, we are going to place 1 chocolate Jell-O cup into this serving dish, plastic cup, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to follow that with a generous handful of, actually I'm going to level this just a little bit, a generous handful of the crushed Oreo crumbs. You can also, if you want to switch up the texture, use some crumbled up chocolate cake. I personally like the little bit of crunch to the Oreos, so I like to use the Oreo crumbs. Once you have a nice even layer, we're going to get back to our carrots that have been off to the side setting up. And now that these have had a couple minutes to set up, I actually got this little squirt bottle in the baking section at Walmart. You can use a Ziploc bag and just cut off the tip, but I actually find this a whole lot easier and less messy than dealing with icing bags and sandwich bags. So what I'm doing here, just for a little bit of a design, is drizzling some of the orange melt on these now that they have set up. And you can probably tell I'm not super picky about this part. I just wanted to get some lines on the carrots. And once you're happy with that, we are going to take our carrot and we are going to add it in. You can cut the edges of the bottom of the carrot where the chocolate melts kind of set up, or what you can do, I'm not really concerned about this, but if you want to, you can sprinkle on once the melt's dried. You can just sprinkle around that and kind of cover it up and sprinkle it with a little bit of soil. And because carrots come naturally from the ground, feel free after you drizzle and that's still wet to sprinkle on a little bit of the Oreo crumbs onto that to actually make it look like your carrot came out of the ground. And there you have it. There are our cute little carrot patch cups. Really quick and easy to assemble and put together, and they're delicious. Okay, for our next treat, we are going to be doing some Easter cake pops. Now, these may be too sweet for you. My family enjoys these, but I personally find them a little bit too sweet. So this is completely a preference thing, but what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these packages of the frosted sugar cookies from the bakery. I don't have bricks of cream cheese because I buy mine from Azure Standard, but this is an 8-ounce container of cream cheese. You're going to need melting wafers. You can do pastel colors, light pink, light purple, light blue. Just for the simplicity of this video and keeping things simple, I'm going to use some white ones that I have on hand, and I'm going to let the fun sprinkles kind of contrast and make a little bit of color pop with them. So I'm going to walk you through these steps of how to make these. Also, with cake pops, you're going to need some kind of sticks. This is all that I was able to find at Walmart, but I think these will be just fine. You're going to start by adding your cookies into a KitchenAid mixer. I actually like to use the paddle attachment, but we'll see how this one goes. I like to use the whisk one when we add our cream cheese, but you're going to want to get these in a KitchenAid mixer and get them blended until it's a crumbly mix. Once you get a nice crumbly mix, you're going to add your cream cheese. You don't have to break yours up. I like to just kind of scatter it around, and what we are going to do is we are going to blend this together till we get a nice dough. After a couple seconds of mixing on medium speed, I am just going to be scraping down these sides a little bit to make sure that we get everything evenly incorporated, and also try to get the cream cheese out of this whisk attachment just so it gets blended nicely all together. And I'm going to put this back on and continue mixing it for just a couple more seconds. And once you're done mixing, I just took the whisk off and kind of scraped it with a little bit sturdier of a spatula that I have here, and you're going to be left with a dough. It is a sticky dough, just to let you know. So I'm going to get a little scoop and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a tablespoon here. You're going to want to roll these into 1-inch balls, and this is dirty. I flipped it over. This is what I did the strawberries on for the carrot patch cups. So I just flipped it over so I don't have to get a new piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to turn these into 1-inch balls and place them on the parchment paper. Okay, and I'm just doing a small batch right now just because I don't have a ton of fridge space. If you did, you can make like a big cookie tray, but that's about what's left. So I'm just going to pop this in the fridge. You could pop it in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm just going to get it to soften up that way. And I'll probably shape it into better shaped balls when that firms up just a little bit. And then we'll be dipping it in the chocolate when we come back, and I'll share that step with you. So I'll be back in 10 to 15, but you'll see me back in a second. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is once these have had time to chill, we're just going to press the stick into our dough, and we're going to spin it around and coat it evenly inside of our candy melts that we have melted. Definitely let this cool once it's melted, or else it'll sit here running for quite some time, which is kind of where this is at. I should have let it sit a little bit more, so it's a little runny, but it will set up. And then what you're also going to want to do, I like to let mine drip at this point before I put sprinkles on. Otherwise, all the sprinkles just kind of drip off of this. And I already did one just to show you kind of what it's going to look like once it's set. So there's one cake pop that I did just to see if this dough had been chilled enough. And I'm going to take some of these colored sprinkles, and I'm just going to sprinkle them all over our cake pop. And it's still dripping, so just hold it over some parchment paper. But there we go. That's it. I'm going to let these set up, and I'm going to get the rest of these coated. And when these are set up and done, you're going to have something that looks like this, and they are nice and hardened on the outside now. And just to show you a bite out of this one in the center, it's got that perfect cake pop texture inside. Like I said, these are really sweet. My kids enjoy these, but just a fair warning. And I think the cream cheese having that inside definitely helps take a little bit of that sweetness off. Take a little bit of that edge of sweetness off. Okay, for this next thing, we are going to do some carrot cheesecake slices, and what you're going to need is 1/16 ounce of New York style cheesecake from Walmart, and I'm just going to slice that. It's been in the freezer for a couple hours just to give it a nice smooth cut. I also have some green melted wafers, the candy melts, and then I also have my orange ones, and I have the squirt bottle full of some green for the stems I'm going to do on the parchment paper, and I also have some orange I'm going to drizzle on top of the carrots, and then I have some Oreo crumbs here to resemble some dirt. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is take my squirt bottle and make some greenery. All right, this is not really the way I was hoping it would turn out, but anyway, there's some greenery, and I'm going to let that set up. We are then going to take our 16-inch cheesecake that is still partially frozen and slice it into 12 pieces. Just kidding, we're not doing 12 pieces, we're doing 8. I don't know why I said 12, but we have 8 pieces right here. Then what we are going to do is we're going to stick a popsicle stick here in the side of our piece, and these are still frozen, which is helpful. And that's probably not deep enough. I apologize. There has been an extreme amount of commotion today. My great Pyrenees will not stop jumping our fence, which she has not done before, so there was a lot of barking from my dogs that are indoors. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's carry on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, I basically inserted all of these about halfway through the crust. And what we're going to do before this hardens is you are going to want to dip your cheesecake into your melt, your candy melt. I know I'm shaded right now. I'm sorry. Kind of blocking the light at this angle. I'm going to have to readjust that. But what you're going to want to do is just dip it and let the excess drain. And then what you're going to do is set it down on some parchment paper, and you're going to take one of your little pieces of greenery. Hopefully yours come out a little better than mine, and I probably should have showed you before I set it down. So we're just going to attach it to the top. So probably could have gone a little bit bigger there, but as you can see, it's just going to attach on the top. And I'm going to continue on with the rest. And then once that is coated, you will take your piping bag or whatever you're using, a Ziploc bag, and you're just going to make some lines on your carrot if you'd like. This is optional. I personally really like the look of the dirt sprinkled on top because carrots are root vegetables. So there we go. And that is what they're going to look like. I'll bring you back when these are all done. All right, and that is what they're looking like. I had one right here that kind of fell off the stick. So you definitely want to work with these while they're definitely partially frozen. Otherwise they're too soft, and it was kind of getting soft. It's warm in here right now. So just definitely work with it while it's frozen. And if you don't want a mishap like that one, then just pop it back in the freezer to chill a little bit more before you coat it. But overall, they're really cute. I should have made the greenery a little bit bigger, but there you are. There are the carrot cheesecakes. Okay, lastly, we are going to do some flour brownie bites. This is something that I make every year. It's just a really quick afternoon treat. After our homeschool day, we'll have it sometimes around Easter for a snack, and it's just really fun. So I'm going to take you along and share what you'll need. Some pastel M&Ms, and I kind of have them separated, as you can tell. The colored ones are the petals, the yellow are the centers. I have a box of brownie bites from Walmart. You can get them anywhere. And then I also just have some plain white frosting. Okay, my dogs were going nuts, so I have to do a voiceover at this part. I just put some of the icing in a piping bag, and I am just swirling it on, covering the tops, and that's all we're going to do here. And then once the brownies are coated with the icing, we're going to go ahead and assemble our flowers. All right, you guys, I had to charge my camera somewhere along me doing the flowers on these. The camera died. So pretty self-explanatory anyway. Just put a layer of icing on and then put the yellow in the middle for the middle of the flower. And then just the colored ones are the petals along the edge of the brownie. And that's about it. So those are the little flower brownie bites. And this is everything all together. It looks so good, and my kids already got into the brownies. So those are our little carrot patch cups. I absolutely love those. And the floral brownies and our cake pops. Also, these have cream cheese in it, so just don't forget to refrigerate those until serving. You can also freeze those. I'll leave directions down in the description box. And then our little carrot patch brownies, which for the most part, all the brownies got a little carrot on them. My kids are eating them right now. So I gave them each a little snack because they've been patient watching me make these. You can trim around the edge. This is for me and my family. I don't really care. But if I was serving these, would I trim off the excess along the edge? Probably, and just make them look a little bit nicer. But these, once again, are cheesecakes. So either serve immediately or pop them in the fridge and keep them refrigerated and cold so they are fresh. But I love that vibrant orange color. It just looks so good, and yeah, they're so easy to put together. All right, friend. Well, thanks for hanging out with me and spending time in the kitchen with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was thorough enough. I apologize for the section that I am going to have to do a voiceover in. I don't know what has gotten into my great Pyrenees. She hopped the fence for the first time yesterday, and she just has caused a lot of chaos throughout this video of us chasing her down. So she's good. She's back where she needs to be right now. Most of the time I'm either going to do a voiceover video or a regular, I'm talking throughout the video type of video, but this one's going to be a little bit of a mix. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys decide to give any of these treats a try, feel free to come back and leave a message in the comment section and let us know your thoughts. Like I warned, the cake pops are sweet. Some people like that. I know my kids do, at least all of them except my oldest daughter. So I look forward to hearing back from you guys if you give them a try. These are just really fun, quick, no-bake recipes that are really easy to put together last minute, and you can find a lot of these ingredients right at your store if you don't already have them in your home. On a side note, anything that I've mentioned in this video, like the dry mix recipes, I'm going to leave links to down in the comment or down in the description box below, and that way you guys can go check those videos out if you'd like to. They're really helpful. Like I said, I did not see the brownies at the store, so it was great to have my dry mix ready to go in the pantry and just add the eggs and the wet ingredients to it and have it done, ready to go in the oven pretty quickly. So absolutely love those. Those are a lifesaver. Once again, if you like this type of content, go ahead and hit that like button. If you'd like to stick around, we'd love to have you here. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss the next video. I have a ton of content planned for this channel. And if you'd like to get to know me and my family a little bit more, I'm going to leave a link to my main YouTube channel down in the description box below. My name is Angela. I am a mom of 8. I've been married to Mike for going on 16 years, and I've homeschooled my kids going on 12 years now this fall. So I'm also a firefighter EMR on our local fire department, and I'm a content creator on YouTube. We homestead. I do a lot of canning. I do a lot of preserving. The canning and preserving is going to be on my main channel. It's just the cooking and baking. There's just so much that I have. I really just need my own channel for that, so it can have its own niche, because the algorithm does not like me posting cooking and baking videos on my main channel, and I spoke about that in a recent video because I've just been struggling so much with that. So that is why I decided to create this channel, a dedicated space for those that love to cook and love to bake, and especially with the cost of everything nowadays, takeout, going out, dining in, it's really expensive. So I absolutely love cooking and baking at home from scratch, and I will share. I know this video is not from scratch, but this was quick, easy treats. But everything else I will share with you along the way. I have lots of content planned. So I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care and God bless.